and welcome to another episode of Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago. Live Feed is brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher. For all your digital resources, check out travelingtechteacher.com. Also brought to you by thebullyexposed.com, a 501c3 nonprofit organization geared at helping survivors of bullying. So let them help you. So we hope that you all saw our inspirational post for today. Hi, Rachel. How you doing? Arthur, Chris Gordon, how are you doing? I hope you all saw the post that we had today. How do we talk about what we can't talk about, right? A lot of us don't know where to start the conversation about bullying. We don't know where to start the conversation about domestic violence and so many other things, but we have to figure it out. And I think the best way to figure that out is definitely by just starting the conversation. I think that's key. It's going to be bumpy. It's not going to be easy, but we just have to somehow just start it, like a big Band-Aid, just rip it off and start the conversation about bullying, domestic violence, suicide, whatever it may be. We have to just be able to start the conversation. That's for sure. So we hope that you're liking our inspirational posts. We hope that you are sharing them, because you can give advice to someone with our inspirational post or inspire someone just by giving them one of our posts through a link or something, or telling them about our site. We do know that it works. Our inspirational posts do work. People have told us. So it works. So share it. Today is a big day in American history. First female president, vice president. That's a big thing. I'm glad that I got to see this in my lifetime, and it's a big thing for women. I think my wife is in happy tears over the fact that she got to see this in her lifetime. I think it's great. Her husband is now the first. What would his title be? The first husband now, I think, is his title, or second husband, I believe, or I forget how the title works. Anybody out there sees this, write it in the comment section. But I think that's great, And now, it is not the time to Leanne, thank you for joining the show, Miss Burns. Now is not the time to say, ha ha ha, we have a female vice president, excuse me. I think now is the time for the country to heal. I think now is the time for everyone to come together, no matter what side you're on, and start thinking of a plan to get things back to normal. To heal the wounds. I think it's time for both sides to start talking and start working together. I think that's the important thing right now. But I am very glad to see a female vice president. Can't wait to see a female president. I don't care what side it's on. Can't wait to see that. I can't wait for to see women get the respect that they deserve and that they earned. I have a feeling that I know what it's like when someone tells you can't do something because of a certain characteristic you have. I've been there. I've seen that. And so I kind of got an idea of that. And I'm just overwhelmed. I truly am. I'm glad to see a female vice president. That's the basic thing. So how do we talk about this with our friends and our family members who might not be happy with the current outcome? Just take it easy and have a sense of empathy, I think, and know that, we're on I believe we're on the right track of getting things back to normal. Um, and it's time for racism. I said this on my personal Facebook account that it's time for racism to be put to bed. So good night, racism, and let's start, the healing process is how I feel about it. So Chris Gordon is in the house. Thank you, Chris Gordon, for joining us. Can you tell us where are you from? What books have you written? I'm very curious. So if anybody wants to know, his name is author Chris Gordon at Instagram. So check him out to see what he's doing there. Let's see. He says, I keep forgetting that I have to put a black background on my items instead of a white background because it's hard to read the things you guys write. Let's see. This is Christian, okay, from author Chris Gordon. Okay, nice to meet you, Christian. From Chris Gordon team. I also love to see the mix of race in the team, which shows that color has no impact. We should not have racism. Whoa, Christian agrees with me. Yes, you are absolutely right. And some people get it, and some people don't. From all sides, all walks of life, all colors. Some people get why racism needs to go, and some people just don't. So, what books Christian has Chris wrote that maybe we can kind of look up on our free time? In regards to president or vice president, okay, Christian starts off saying, so when it comes to talking, how do you talk about bullying? How do you talk about domestic violence? How do you talk about anything of that nature? Like I said earlier in the show, there's no easy way to do it, but you have to do it. Oh, I think she was ending her sentence. Okay, sorry guys if I mixed you up. She was ending her sentence. We just have to start the conversation, guys, when it comes to, bullying and when it comes to any type of violence. As for me, what's going on, if you're following my personal life, I get to finally leave the hotel life, and we're getting our own place here in Italy, and we're finally going to leave the hotel life. The people at the hotel are great. They did great by us, but we're ready to be in our own beds and kind of have that kind of freedom, So we do move tomorrow, guys, for those of you that are following. And now life in Italy seriously begins. So Christian says, we just wrote Friendship Has No Color. It's a book on racism which talks about a kid being bullied because of his skin color, okay? Which it does happen, folks, yes. However, the book shows that we should be friends no matter what. Yeah, that is so true. We are all different skin, continues Christian, skin colors, hair colors, etc. We are all different on the outside, and we should accept each other's differences. That's what makes the world great, guys, our differences. Learning from each other, learning what that culture might eat, or how that culture might view God. Um, that's what makes the world great. And I think that it would be extremely boring if we all did the same thing, if we all looked the same, if we all had the same type of hair, type of skin, all spoke the same. This world would be extremely boring. So that's important. X-Boy, thank you for joining the show. Hello, where are you from? So, Kristen, tell me where is the Chris Gordon team located at? I'm always very curious as to what part of the world I'm talking with. And X-Boy, how are you doing today? Where are you from? What's on your mind? Anybody out there have a technique that they use when they want to talk about something that's difficult to talk about? Anybody have a technique of kind of breaking that ice? Whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on the recorded version, please put your ideas in the comment section so others can learn on how to talk about things that may be difficult to talk about. So Christian from Chris Gordon team says, we are in Canada and in the US. Okay, great. I am in the USA and Chris, who is the author, is in Canada. Oh, great. Awesome. So I'm going to assume if you're working with Canada, you must be somewhere in New York or somewhere up high up in the north of the US. Did I guess right? Or if you don't want to say what state you live in, that's fine for me. As for me, you guys, some of you may know, I was born and raised in New York City. I now live in Italy because my wife works with the Department of Defense. Miami, okay, a little more south. Okay, so I hope you're enjoying your weather and taking advantage of that great weather. So Young Blue's in the house. Oh man, Blue, how are you doing today? I hope everything's good. It's been a long time since we talked. Blue, give me. What technique do you use when you have to talk about something that's difficult with a friend? We like to know. Let's see. We are both originally from Trinidad y Tobago. It's Tobago. Lo siento. Excuse me. Trinidad is in the house. Nice. That's awesome. That's great. Glad to hear that. And Young Blue says hello. Hello, Blue. I hope you understand the Blue. The Wi-Fi is a little low, so I'm unable to play your music. I usually play, for those of you that don't know, I usually play Young Blue's music. He's I believe, 14-year-old kid from the U.S. who creates music, and I love playing his music because there's no copyright strike on when I play his music, because I love to play his music while I talk on the show, but because I'm in a hotel with a not so great Wi-Fi, less than perfect, let's say less than perfect Wi-Fi, I can't do two things at once. I could only do one thing. And there's another good friend of mine, Preteen. How you doing? I believe she's a young teen model or pageant. She does pageants, I believe. How are you? Welcome to the show. Definitely want to get your opinion on what do you do to talk about difficult things, such as bullying or domestic violence. Young Blue says, I gotta go. Okay, Blue, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget, everyone, please smash that heart one time for Blue. And Blue, smash that heart before you go, please. X-Boy says, how have you been? I've been good, X-Boy. How's everything with you? Is this X-Boy from Houston, Texas? If so, how are you? And your mom is doing some amazing modeling, man. If this is X-Boy from Texas. Young Blue says, I'll see you later. Yes, see you later. And Dr. V is in the house. Dr. Vasquez, how are you? There's a person I haven't talked to in a while. It looks like all the old peeps are coming out. How you guys doing? Maybe Dr. Vasquez can shed some light on this. Dr. Vasquez, can you please tell us what is the best way to talk about something you don't want to talk about, like maybe bullying or domestic violence, something of that nature? So let's see. Co-preteen says, I invited some friends to join in the live. Oh, great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. The more people, the better. Smash that heart one time, everybody, for co-preteen. What is your name, co-preteen? It sounds so, thank you, Nick. Thank you. What is it? Alabama preteen. Thank you for joining the show. Thank you, Virginia Junior Teen, for joining the show. A bunch of pageant people. Ooh, so I should get some good answers now. What do you guys do? What technique? Thank you for smashing that heart. Everyone, please smash that heart. What do you do to talk about things, to break the ice, to talk about things that are difficult to talk about? Camila, did I pronounce that right? Camila, thank you, Camila. Awesome. I like your little look on. My daughter was in pageants when she was young too. She used to do that a lot too. And she would win. It was like all the judges would go, oh, and little mark. But we're talking about young. We're talking about like 3, 4 years old she was. Camila, thank you, Camila. It's so good to put a name to the account. So I like to know, I guess people are remaining quiet today, a little shy. What do you do? So, Camila, you tell me, what do you do when you have to talk about something difficult? How do you break that ice to tell the person about bullying or whatever the situation may be? What is it that you do? Let's see. I don't know what I do. I make it up as I go. I'm going to be honest. Okay. A lot of you might think, oh, I have it all written out, nice speech. No, I kind of go as I go. I think that's the best way to go, to be honest, come from the heart, and I just say the things that deliver it as easy as you can, put an air freshener on it, so to speak. I like to say, put an air freshener, try to make it smell good, if you know what I mean, and be honest and, talk from the heart. Especially when you see a person that's maybe like has a best friend that is bullying him or her, and you gotta tell them. And so Carmela says, do you refer about bullying? Yeah, bullying, anything. Whenever you have to deliver some bad news or some things that may embarrass someone, how do you talk about it? Because so many people are DMing me about, how do I start the conversation with my child, or how do I start the conversation with my best friend that the other friends that he's choosing to have are bullying him and he just doesn't realize it. How do you start that conversation? If you saw our post today, it says, how do you talk about what you can't talk about? So that's basically, I guess I should have put it that way, Kamala. How do you talk about what you can't talk about? What's hard to talk about? Bullying, domestic violence, things of that nature. California Junior Teen, thank you for joining the show. So I guess I don't have to ask her where she's from, because she's from California, and I love California. Used to love going to California all the time. So let's see. Carmela says, I have given many presentations. Awesome. PowerPoints. Awesome. And stand is that stand-ups? And stand to stop, and stand to stop bullying to countries like Colombia, Venezuela, Germany, Italy. Wow, hey, I'm in Italy right now. So if you're ever in Italy, look me up. Thailand, I love Thailand, one of my favorite countries, and so many more. Well, that is awesome. Wow. So what advice do you give to these people in these different countries? And I have a question. Do you speak many different languages? Do you speak different languages? How did you speak to the Italian people and to the German people and to the people in Thailand and Colombia? Do you speak Spanish? Do you speak German? Do you speak Italian? Do you speak what is it, Thai? That's awesome. That's great. Sometimes you're able to, if you speak English. A lot of these other countries speak English as well. I know, living in Italy for the past 3 weeks now that I've been here, I know that there are a few people that speak English as well as Italian. A few of them speak Spanish, so I'm able to speak with them in English or in Spanish, depending on how much they know. And in Germany, I think it's the same thing. Thailand, it was very hard to find people that speak English, but there were a few people. And in Colombia and Venezuela, I don't know. But let's see here. I don't know how this Centennial State, I think it is. Thank you for joining the show. Smash that heart for Centennial State. Sophia, her name is Sophia. Okay. All right, Sophia. Thank you for joining the show. So Camilla, how were you able to talk to these people? Is one of my questions in these other countries. And what did you say? What's the main premise of what you said when you spoke at these countries? It's so great. Pageants. A lot of people think that pageants are not good. Pageants are ways for people to really get that self-esteem of talking in front of people. And as you guys know, I tell you guys all the time, when you have self-esteem and whatever it is, playing an instrument, martial arts, pageants, whatever it is, when you get that energy that you get from these things and you have positivity all the time, it allows that positivity to come out, and then you're less likely to be bullied. So let's see. Camila says you can come up to them, person who is bullied, who's being bullied, in parentheses. If it's a child, if it's a school, the parents can go to the principal and let them know, because it can affect the child in a very negative way. That is so true. Yes, that is so true. Good information there. And it can lead to suicide. So true. Sorry about the errors. No, it's fine. Don't worry. I understand. That is true. Yes, get parents, for parents and for kids. Tell your parents if you're being bullied. Okay, if you're a kid watching your friend be bullied, tell your parents, so that maybe your parents can talk to his parents and get that resolved. Thank you for smashing the heart. Thank you for showing that love. X-Boy, I just dropped 8 songs. DM me, X-Boy, so I can listen to the songs and share them, all right? And I don't think you answered me. If you did, I apologize. I didn't see it. Are you the X-Boy from Houston? Let me know. We used to have a person, his name was, I won't say the full name, I won't say his name at all, but he used to follow us a lot, and he found that he was getting bullied when he followed us, so he unfollowed us. Dallas, so I'm so glad to see that you are back. Okay, it's Dallas. I apologize. I thought you were from Houston. Well, awesome, X-Boy. I'm so glad to see that you're back. Let's see. Camila says, I speak English, Spanish, and basic Mandarin. Oh, awesome. And ASL. Now, my daughter is studying that, so I know what that is. That's sign language, right? American Sign Language. Otherwise, I would ask you what ASL was, but because my daughter is studying that in college right now, and quick shout out to my daughter, you can check out my daughter's page. It's Melody Snippets with a Z, Melody Snippets. Check her out on Instagram. Let's see, I am a world traveler. That's why I have the opportunity to present in so many countries. Me too, I love going to other countries. And Camilla says, yes. American Sign Language. That's awesome. And Export says, yo, I fit you after this. Okay, copy that. So glad to see you back, X-Boy. Yeah, so glad to see you back. That's the thing that really bothers me. I have to admit. Hey, I'm gonna admit it. It really bothers me, and it has nothing to do, guys, with the number of followers. Nothing to do. But it really bothers me when people start to follow us. They get bullied because they might like our stuff or comment on our stuff, and then their friends, or I should say, not their friends, their bully sees that they liked something we did that they or commented, and then they start to bully them. And rather than the person say, "Hey, I'm not gonna let you decide the person that I am," a lot of the times they stop following us, and I'm so glad to see when people come back and say, you know what, I'm not going to let my bully change who I am. That's the things that you got to do, guys. That's what you got to do. Because if you think that we don't get bullies, people see us and say, oh, this is an advocate, this is an account that advocates against bullying, I'm going to bully them right away. You know what I do? I just block them. Simple as that. I don't engage. I just block them. But any bully is welcome to come on the show and talk on the show anytime and talk about why you do the things so we can understand. If we understand bullies, then we can know how to deal with them. And Camilla says, I actually did a presentation yesterday at a preschool. I hope you wore a mask. Can you check out my Instagram? Sure. Yeah, send me that link and I'll check. DM me that link, Camilla. I will check it out, and if you said some positive things, and I'm sure you did, I'll even share it on our story. All right, so yeah, DM me that. So let's see here. We're on 27 minutes here. 27 minutes. So yeah, just before the Wi-Fi cuts out on us, I think I'm gonna call this show. And I want to say thank you so much to Camilla. And welcome back, X-Boys. So good to see you. Thank you, Camilla, for inviting all your friends. And please smash that heart for Camilla. Check her out, okay? It's UNMCOP, okay? ER Teen, okay? Check her out on Instagram. Thank you so much for being on the show and for telling us about you and about the great things you do to help end bullying. You are a hero. You are a hero. And she says, I sure did. I had a mask. Good for you. And while we're talking about masks real quick, I don't have one near me. Guys, a mask is not a political statement, okay? It's just a way of helping protect yourself and others. So don't make a mask a political statement because it's not. Let's see. So Camilla wants you guys to know that it stands for United States National Miss Colorado Preteen. She says, thank you. Colorado. So are you from Colorado there? Or are you currently living in Colorado? That's awesome. Which, by the way, we all know means red. Right, guys? So, yeah, let's definitely call this show good. And again, I want to thank Camilla for coming on. I want to remind you guys that Live Feed is brought to you by thebullyexposed.com, 501c3 nonprofit organization. And brought to you by thebullyexposed.com. And I said that one. I'm sorry. So let's start again. Live Feed is brought to you by thebullyexposed.com, a 501c3 nonprofit organization geared at helping survivors of bullying. So let them help you. And brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher. If you're learning virtually, you need to check out travelingtechteacher.com. All right. And before we go, Camilla says, yes, I love Colorado. Awesome. And remember, anyone can wear the crown. Anyone can be a hero. Be kind to one another and have a great day. And don't be afraid to start that conversation, guys. All right? Bye.